Welcome to the Huddle with Rome. I got my boy Donte, man. I've been knowing my dog for over 20 years, a real Northside legend, a North High legend, and a Gustavus Adolphus great. What's cracking, man? What's up, bro? How you doing?
Good, big dog, man. Thank you for having me on. It's been a little too long. I know we've been trying to do this for a couple of weeks now. I'm glad we're here now. But yeah, no, thank you for the introduction too. I needed to hear that stuff, man. Sometimes I
Nah,
be
you
forgetting.
you a real legend, bro. I don't know if you saw mine. Y'all the reason why I started playing football. Y'all coming back to school, saying what y'all did in y'all games. I'm sitting there looking like I play with these dudes every day. Like I could do that too. Nah, you, Pearl, Carlton, Fuquan, all y'all a big part of the reason why I even started playing football. You know how my grandma was. She was straight academics. I ain't know nothing about no sports. So yeah. So all right, let me start off my first question. So where did you grow up at, man?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I grew up in North Minneapolis. We definitely bounced around from place to place, but grew up in North Minneapolis. I mean, I think anywhere from like 12th and Penn all the way up to 33rd and 6th. So North Minneapolis from literally my entire life until maybe 6 months ago, and I moved out here to Arizona. But yeah,
Nice.
man, I miss it for sure, though.
Yeah, I remember when you lived on 12th and Penn. I used to ride my bike down Penn to come to your
Yeah,
crib.
and I used to be at Lincoln hooping with all the little Shannon and all those dudes. Like, man, it used to be fun as heck. But no, for sure, I definitely no, North Side through and through though. Like, I can't think of a place in North Minneapolis that I can't go or haven't been. Like, whether it's Farview Park, Lucy Laney, like the Boys and Girls Club. Like, even now as an adult, you can go to the saloon if I wanted to. Obviously, I'm not going to, but like
Right.
just being from North Minneapolis, you just have that that name and face recognizability. I don't know if you want that, but yeah.
Nah, everybody know everybody over there. I be trying to tell people. My friends, my dealer cell friends get mad at me because they say you know everybody. I'm like, Northside is not as big as people think. It's real small. It's like it's corners and like small hoods. But if you play against each other, you see each other in these communities. We all go to school together. We know somebody that knows somebody.
On top of that, we're playing like multiple sports together though too, not just like football. We playing football, basketball, baseball. Like we doing all this stuff year round. So like, there's literally
Right.
friends that I have. Like actually, Carlton is like how I met him playing football. Like I mean, obviously extended our friendship through playing football. Romel like met him through hooping. So it's like you just like everybody knows everybody just from like sports essentially. Even like the girls though too on that same side. So
Facts.
yeah, definitely miss it, man.
What was it like growing up over north?
I mean, it was dope for me. Like obviously, I don't know any other place or any other like location to growing up. I mean, but it was dope. It was a small knit community. We knew everybody. Like again, there's no place that we couldn't go. I mean, obviously, every place has its negative spaces. Like maybe it's like negative components, whether it be like gangbangers, whatever it may be. But I mean, we're athletes, so wasn't nobody looking for us to do nothing like that to us. So we were pretty good. It was so now I'm living here in Arizona. I kind of have a different appreciation for the different seasons that we get in Minnesota, which is another thing I don't necessarily think we think about when you're in Minnesota. But like, yeah, just having the ability to be able to go from playing tag and running around outside to 8, 9 o'clock at night to sledding like down the hills in the parkway 2 months later. So you get all 4 seasons in Minnesota. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been for sure. So I mean, I love it. Like I said, it had its ups and downs. I mean, as a kid though, you don't know what's bad. You just know, I mean, hey, I'm out here having fun, like this and this. But yeah, I loved it though. Wouldn't trade it for anything for sure.
That's what's up. So what inspired you to start playing sports? And what grade did you start playing sports?
I want to say the first time I ever like played football, like organized football, was second grade. Honestly, what it was is just like my mom one day like told me I was just in the crib too much. Like I was just sitting around the house too much playing the games and playing like little Gundams and stuff too much. She's like, you need to get outside. And I
Right.
think she like had like a second job or something. I can't remember exactly what happened, but like she just didn't want me sitting around the house all day while she was gone. So she like took me over to Harrison Park one day. It was like, you got to go play football. And I was like, man, no, I'm not doing this. To her, no, I'm crying, doing all this extra stuff. She was like, no, you going, you going. Took me over to Harrison Park, which is kind of, all right, let me give you this real quick segue. So I met Carlton at Lucy Laney. Obviously, you know that.
I
And I
was,
think you were there when me and Carlton met. Like, we got into a fight, like over like a dodgeball or basketball. I can't remember what it was. We got
mhm.
into a fight. So that happened like maybe like Monday of the previous week. The next week, like on Monday, my mom dropped me off at Harrison Park and tell me I got to go play football. The first dude I see is Carlton, and then his giant older brother, Edmund. And I'm like, no way. So on top of me having to go do this, I got to go do this with the dude I just fought and his older brother here. They about to whoop my ass, like, or whoop my butt all the time now. Like, it's just like, it was scary as heck. But honestly, though, Carlton was cool as heck, super embracing. Like, I was very surprised because the attitude flip was like 180, but super embracing. I can't remember our coach name at the time, but everybody, man, just kind of took me in. And obviously, I was giant as a kid, so I was like naturally kind of good at it. And I mean, that definitely helped people like ingratiate themselves to me for sure. But yeah, man, it was Harrison Park. Had to be second grade, I believe, so 8 or 9 years old maybe. And Harrison Hornets played with Carlton. You remember Savion? Played with Savion. Yeah. Man, I can't remember one more dude, but yeah, we had a couple athletes on the team. We were trash though. We got whooped every year. I think like we played y'all like twice that year and got like 42-0 and then like 49-7 or something like that.
When did you go to Farview? Because that's where I remember like when you. That's how I remember you playing football, Farview, and then obviously when we got older, y'all.
So that next year we just like like kind of growing up with our circumstances, we just moved around a lot. So like when I was playing for Harrison, I was living on 12th and Penn. But then like the next year or so, like we had to pick up and move. And I want to say we were living like on like 17th and DuPont. I can't remember. We were just like a little bit further up way. So we had to go and play for the local park, and that was Farview. And so Carlton actually had moved too because he used to live right down on like 8th and Logan or something like that, down in the Lowe's, whatever. And he ended up moving up to like 26th and DuPont. And so we both just ended up going to play for Farview after that. And that's where for real, that's where we started to meet everybody. We met like Nico, Jordan, Dennis, like all the athletes that kind of became like Henry's like prominent athletes. They were all at like Farview and stuff at that time.
Yeah, Farview had a lot of the athletes there.
Yeah, they did. It's like everybody was there though, but yeah, we ended up going to play for Farview, and they had like different divisions at Farview though too. So like they had like the red, blue, or red, white, and silver and all that stuff, and like we were like the worst. Whatever.
That was Farview Yellow. Because I remember we played against y'all. We smacked y'all. My first year of playing, and then like y'all, I remember that. And then after that, like I want to say like our 6th or 7th grade year, that's when y'all made that transition to North Common. So even thinking about that, so you played at Farview for a couple years, and then you switched over to North Common. What was that decision? And I was salty. I was salty about that because I live right by North Commons, and I'm playing all the way at Fallwell. I was too loyal to my coach.
But you know what? That was the first time ever in any like situation where I felt like I got recruited to play a sport, like to play anything. It was like that time. So we played for Farview. It was like playing for Farview Yellow. We were bad. They had the good Farviews, black, all that good stuff, and they were playing in the championship. But North Commons the year before, they had like lost like a game right before the championship, but they watched us play, and so Coach Rob told us after the game, he's like, hey, I need y'all to come play for us next year. And me and Carlton both been kids like, all right, cool, yeah, talk to you later. Like, whatever. Went about our year. Next year, we're over at Farview practicing, getting ready, like, behind Jordan, like, whatever, like, high school or middle school. And Coach Rob pull up again. He was like, hey, where y'all parents at? It was like, what? He was like, take me to y'all parents right now. So we ended up getting in the car with him. He took us over to, like, where Carlton's mom was. My mom happened to be over there, too. He told him, like, yeah, like, we taking these 2 kids over here to play at North Commons, and, like, he going to be our quarterback. He going to be one of our offensive linemen, and from there, we going to go. Like, he straight up told us, like, we going to go win a championship. And, like, kid you not, we went and won a championship, though. Like,
bro, that's crazy, bro, because I remember, I vividly remember this. So, like, this is when everybody started coming into their own. Like, I know my first few years I was trash. Like, and then, like, 7th grade year, that was, like, my breakout year. And I remember that's when y'all got over there to North Commons. And I swear to God, bro, y'all team was so stacked. That 7th grade year, so who was some of them dudes you remember? That's the first time I see my boy G. He actually went to DSL, Anthony Warren. Yeah. Yeah. But that was the first time I saw him. So I was just like, dang, y'all team is ridiculous. Who was some of them dudes you remember?
It was G.
G black. G look white, but G black. Don't get it twisted. That boy dad black.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but he white boy. Yeah.
No, man. We definitely had a team. But Coach Rob, that was like I said, that was the first time I ever seen like recruiting. Like he really was driving, going like from park to park, getting players. Like he went and got. Remember our running back Prince? Like Prince was playing on like. I don't know, like the Cooper division or something like that. When they got Prince, when they got like, man, I think his name was like Travion. Like he was like he was a year younger than us, but he was a really good running back.
Go ahead,
When
Kevion.
Ladarius, huh?
Go ahead, Kevion.
Kevion, that's what I'm thinking about. Kevion.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevion, which was a dog. Like Ariel at receiver, he was like 6'3" at a
Oh yeah,
seventh
bum. He left us. He left us and came and played with y'all. He's a bum. That's
grade.
my boy though. That's my boy though. But he left us to come play with y'all.
No,
He
man,
wants to win.
yeah, dude, we had some real like a lot of those athletes though went on to be like Ladarius was like an All American in high school. Like, Carlton went on to be whatever Mr. NDSU and Mr. So we had some real good athletes though for real. Like in hindsight, at the time, yes, we're kids, you can't really tell, but yeah, we did. Like I went on to becoming like an all state player, like all this stuff. So yeah, we definitely had some athletes for real. But,
What was some memorable games that you played during them years in Parkboard? I know some of the with us, Falwell, y'all used to beat us at the last minute.
yeah, Falwell for sure. Just because we got to play against our homeboys, Pearl, you, Jigga. I can't remember everybody's on the team, but like those are definitely like some memorable games. I know like our 7th grade year, obviously the championship game was a pretty big game. One thing I could think,
Red.
huh?
Y'all played
Yeah,
Foggy Red.
yeah, like Nico was at quarterback, I believe. I think Jordan was playing running back. He had like 200 yards. It was like a crazy like game, but that was a dope one. I mean, any game we play in the Metrodome, like as a kid, is like dope. Like anytime to be able to go and like play like where the professionals play is a dope situation. But also one thing that I do remember though is like our 7th grade year. I don't know if y'all know about this, but we went to a tournament out in Blaine, and we went to it's like I don't know if it's still as big, maybe not, but it's like a national hosted tournament out in Blaine, and like teams from all over, from like California, from Georgia, from just all over come and play in this tournament. And one year we're playing in this tournament, we're like not ranked or anything. It's our 7th grade year, the year that we got all these people together. It's our 7th grade year, not ranked in this tournament. We're playing like 3 teams that's like ranked in the nation. It's like the only team I can remember for sure is like this team from California called El Segundo, but they're the #1 team in the tournament. These dudes had like, we're in the 7th grade. These dudes are like rolling out like high school sized kids basically. So go play these dudes. I mean, we played 3 games. We blow everybody out in the first 3 games. We played them in the championship, and everybody's like, yeah, y'all about to lose. Y'all about to lose. We gonna beat these dudes by maybe like 3 or 4 touchdowns, or whatever it may be. And again, they're the #1 ranked Parkboard team in the nation at this tournament. Like we dogging that. That's when I kind of knew they was like, oh yeah, we about to be for real, for real. Like our backups was scoring touchdowns on the like boom them back to back. It was kind of insane, but I miss all that though for sure, man.
Yeah, I always tell people my funnest time. I mean, obviously college was fun because you're older, you have that college experience. But
Yeah,
hardboard days and high school days are my favorite part of playing sports because you with your like. I ain't gonna say I didn't make no friends in college, but you with your like true friends that you stay connected to, and you probably know them the longest. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
Like literally, like some of my friends that I met Carlton, literally to this day, like my mom is at his wedding. You know what I mean? Like, and I met him through football. Pearl, like I talk to him every day. Like I talk to you every day, and like we met most of each other through playing sports. So I mean, it does have real connective tissue, like in real people's lives. So yeah, even just like riding your bike to practice with your helmet and shoulder pad. Something like I just thought about that. I was like, how did I get to practice back in the day? Riding that bike.
Hey, these kids now, can I get a lift? No,
Yeah,
we was walking on that bus.
On the bus with it.
We was on that bike for real. That's why we different. So all right, man. So after that Parkboard happened, what was the? I mean, obviously, I know you was a Northsider. I remember we all had like made like a pact, like, oh, we going to Washburn. And then next thing I know, when you and Carlton go to North, and I'm looking like, but then I end up going to De La Salle. But I wanted to play with y'all. But my grandma was like, you ain't going to no public school. Yeah. But y'all, like, you and Carlton end up going to North. So what was the decision? Was it because like it was the home school and it was right there? What was the decision on that?
I know Carlton thing for sure was like his family already went, like Edmund, his older brother already went to the North. So I think that was already something. And I'm pretty, obviously Carlton's smart. He probably could have went to De La Salle or one of those like private schools that we went to. But I think that was his reason why he was going into North. But like our coaches all from Parkboard, they all went over to coach at North High School, and so we all were going to go to Washburn. That was the plan. Like I think for sure it's me, Pearl, Jigga, you, Malcolm, and we were all going to go to Washburn because I didn't want to go to Henry. I knew that for sure, and I didn't want to go to North just because like You hear
It's-
crazy things about North. Before I went there, you heard crazy things about North, and I was like, I don't want to go there. But
and the team wasn't that good at the time.
oh, they were not. No, and like again, we
So
just came from like winning championships in Parkboard, so you want to try to continue that. So you're like, man,
right,
we're gonna try to go to Washburn, who win championships
right.
consistently. So I don't remember the exact moment when it happened, but I know like Carlton automatically was going to North. If he wasn't like that, that was for him. But I know like Coach Rob or somebody came along and just basically said like, hey, like guys, we got our core of our Parkboard team coming up to North. It's like we might not win our freshman year or sophomore year, but like by the time y'all juniors and seniors, y'all gonna start winning because like y'all been playing together and y'all good athletes and all stuff. It's like, man, like I hear you. It's like I ain't trying to wait 2 years to win and all this stuff. And it's like you gonna play right away, Donte. It's like that's not gonna be an issue. Like, but y'all not gonna win a whole lot. It's like, but you're gonna be able to build this team. And I was like, man, you know what? Though I kind of feel that we built North Commons in the same way because before we started playing, they weren't the Bulldogs. They were like the Comets or the Jaguars. And the year
Jaguars.
we got there, we changed them to the Bulldogs. And like even now, we still got our shit hanging up in there, stuff hanging up in there. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just go to try to go to North, build a legacy. You know, Carlton is at the time he was my best friend too. So I was like, I mean, he still is my best friend, but you know, I was like my better friend at the time. So I was like, I beat one of my homeboys all the time. It can't be the worst thing in the world. So let's just go to North. And I mean, that's just kind of how it was. And I don't think anybody in my family was like really happy about it because all my family members went to Henry up until me. And then my mom, like, she already had like preconceptions about North High School, so she didn't want me to go there. And it's a lot. But I think, like, ultimately, though, like, it was the right decision. I know North has like its like things around it's like academics and behavior and things like that, and like just like any place, man, it's gonna be whatever you make it. Like, yeah, definitely. De La Salle probably have a better academic rigor than North, but that doesn't mean our teachers don't try harder. There are students there that are like trying to become good students and stuff like that. And I think we had a big influence on stuff like that too, because we were very good athletes, but we were pretty good students though too. All of us graduated top 25 in our class, so
That's what's up. So
that
yeah,
was it. Just our coach pulled us in that direction for the most part.
for sure. So when you got there freshman year, you started playing football. Were you on varsity your freshman year?
So got there at training. So you know, this is back when tour days were every other day for 2 weeks too. By the way, this wasn't like nowadays. I don't think they do any of that. We used to go
No.
to practice from like 6 to 9, go home, and then come back from 2 to 4. And
Yep.
like that was every day for 2 weeks. So yeah, did that. You know, that like weeds out pretty much everybody, pretty much right there. People just start falling off left and right. So went through that. Got to the first 2 weeks of camp, and first 2 weeks of the season. I can't remember exactly what happened, but we ended up having to have like one of our offensive linemen go and play linebacker or something like that. So they like put me into the rotation. And like at first it was just like a injury thing, but you know, I was actually a solid athlete. I was small as hell because I'm 14 years old playing against 18, 19-year-old grown 17 and
Right.
18-year-old grown man. So it was insane. But I mean, I held my own. But yeah, it was a freak accident. Somebody got hurt. We didn't have enough players. They moved one of our offensive linemen to like linebacker on defense, and I was like, "Yeah, Donte, you got to go play guard for a little bit." Went in there, 180 pounds, so I'm moving fast as heck, catching all the pulls and doing everything, cut blocking everybody. Like, okay, hold up, man. This little dude, he gonna play his heart out. So they kept me in there, and I want to say from there on out, I started pretty much every game, like for my freshman year, because I led her my freshman year, so I know I had to at least start 8 games.
You had, yeah. So you had Ronald Buck and Adonis Meeks on your team.
Yeah,
It's funny. I'm actually working with Ronald Buck. I actually kind of got cool with him. He's a teacher at Lucy Laney, so we've been
yep, the gym teacher, I
together all
believe.
summer. And I was like, "Oh, you know my boy Donte?" He was like, "Oh, Donte?" Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, that's my dog." So we chopped it up. And I was like, "Did you play with him?" 'Cause I didn't realize how older he was than us. He was a senior when we was freshmen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So yeah.
let
So
me
how
tell you
was?
about Ronald Buck. Actually,
Yeah.
I know I don't know if that's the question you want, but let me tell you about
Yeah.
Ronald Buck.
I was going to segue. It's like, so tell me a little bit about him. I know he was cold. So tell me a
Yeah,
little bit about him.
first of all, probably the best athlete I seen up close and personal. Like, yeah, I played with some pretty good athletes in college and stuff, but in high school, I've never seen somebody his size, his speed, his quickness, his agility, like, and he played offense. So the offensive lineman that I was telling you about had to switch from offensive line to linebacker was Ronald Buck. He was our starting like center or some or guard or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he just for some reason he just couldn't like keep going both sides. We lost somebody where he had to like pick up another role, and so I came in and started playing guard, and like he has been my mentor ever since then. He is on my tail right there. Hey, you got to do this, this, this. And I'm 14 years old. He's 18 years old. He's jacked as heck. He's a grown man. I'm sitting there like, okay, Buck, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. But he was a real deal mentor. Like he took a hold of like a group of us. It's like me, Carlton, Rashad, Jay Hutch, EJ. He just kind of made sure that like we were good student athletes. He actually reminded us of the student part way more than the athlete part all the time. So he made sure that we were on top of our academics. He made sure that we took our workout seriously. Like Ronald Buck was the driving force of North, us being like good at the sports that we were at North. So on top of us, like I said, him pulling us into those 2-day workouts and stuff, making sure we're doing it. Our freshman year, he got me into wrestling and playing baseball. So we were trying out. I was going to try out for the basketball team one day. Practice didn't start till 8 o'clock or something like that, and I'm standing around waiting for the basketball team to get to the gym. But he's like, you might as well just come and practice with us for a little bit. You're not doing nothing else. Went and practice wrestling for a little bit. Did not know it'd be that exhausting of a sport. So after that, I'm tired. I didn't want to go practice or try out for basketball, so I went home. Next thing I know, I did it again the next day, and then I'm like, okay, I guess I'm a wrestler now. Like,
That's dope.
Yep. And then with baseball, he just like kind of like drove home the idea that like, man, if you're going to be a good athlete, you got to be good at multiple things. And baseball, while it's going to be drastically different from wrestling and football, like you get a lot of skills from there. Maybe your hand-eye coordination, or maybe it'd be the ability to drive and turn your hips, whatever it may be. And he just like got us into baseball because of that. And so honestly, because of Buck, I can guarantee you the athletes that me and Carlton and EJ and all of us we are the athletes we are because of Ronald Buck. Like that's not even a question. Like he is by far the driving force behind our graduating class, and everybody will tell you that for sure.
But yeah, sophomore year, you come back, you got a year on your belt, right? Obviously, you guys wasn't winning that much. I seen a picture Michael J. Much was posting the other day. We got played against Holy Angels, and I looked at the score. I said, "Good God, I know they was getting it done because y'all was 4A at the time, right?"
Yeah, surprisingly, yeah, because not surprised. We still had a lot of students around that time. That's like when North still had a decent amount of kids before they left. But yeah, Holy Angels whooped the crap out of us, dog. I can't remember, and they still whooping people to this day. But it's a good program. But I mean, we were at that time we were running like straight up. I think we had 13 players that played consistently. Like so that means 11 of us played both sides, and then like so it was tough. I think we had 35 players on our roster total.
Bro, I feel you. I'll be trying to tell people. I'm like, bro, y'all think that De La Salle, we had all these dudes. Bro, no. We had 45 people on our team. We had about 30 good players, but like the starters played both ways, most of them, unless you was like a star running back. You know what I'm saying? All our players were the star quarterback, but everybody else played both ways. And you gotta think like we had 600 kids at our school. We did get like the best of the best, but still though, like when we got to the championship, we played against Glencoe Silver Lake. They got 120 people on their team, and 90 of them dudes is good. So it's like, what are we doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? We get drained by the end. So I definitely understand where you're coming from.
No, and being a guy who played the offensive and defensive line, like it's a different level of draining. Glencoe probably never once had. I mean, probably, but they rarely probably had the same offensive line as the same defensive line. You know what I mean? And they ran the ball 100,000 times.
They ran the ball twice a game. That's it.
You know what I mean? So that's just like I could imagine just getting to that point, just getting worn down. Because I mean, it happened to us too eventually down the line. But yeah, man, it was just we were a rough team our sophomore year, 2-8. That was like our first time, like all of us actually were like playing consistent full time. Like me and Carlton were starters, but then like at that point, all of our friends, Pearl, EJ, everybody started at that time. So me and Carlton may have a decent amount of experience of like playing against this speed and level and stuff like that. Everybody else is kind of catching up to it. And we're 15 years old at the time too, so we gotta like being a 33-year-old man now. It's like 15 years old, like kind of insane thinking about the stuff you're trying to do. And we're all starters too. Like there were only like I think maybe our running back, Leandro, and a couple offensive linemen like were juniors and seniors, but everybody else was sophomores. We were all 15 years old. So we got our butt whooped a lot. Good learning lessons. People quit. And that's when North started to like lose a lot of students too. So like our numbers started to dwindle down a lot. But I think it started to like kind of just weed out everybody who wasn't supposed to be there. Essentially, like people who weren't serious about trying to make North into a real athletic school or a real academic school. Like they left, and most of that was around just not people wanting to wear uniforms, which I can understand to a certain degree. But yeah. So I mean, it was a unique learning experience. Lost a lot of games. First coach changed because that's when TP started to become our head coach too. So it was his actual first learning experience too. And if I remember correctly, TP is exactly 10 years older than me, so he has to be 25, 26 when he was doing it. So everybody was just learning at that point in time. It was unique though. Took a lot of L's for sure. Did you play a lot when you were a sophomore?
So my sophomore year, I talked about it on my pod. So I thought I was going to be the starter my sophomore year. Obviously, I was tiny at the time, and they put somebody else that was bigger than me, but he wasn't as skilled as me, at the position. But you need size when you're in varsity. So I played all special teams that year, and I played rotated a little bit like strong safety, and I ended up getting special teams player of the year of the team. They voted me special teams player of the year. I just did what I had to do to get on the field at that time. But then, obviously junior year, my number was called. That's when I went crazy. So yeah, man. And that, I know like for y'all had early experience. You, Carlton. I feel like that worked out, better for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if I had early experience, I would have been better. You know what I'm saying?
And had its ups and downs against like your sophomore year. I went to state if I remember.
Went to the
Y'all lost.
championship.
Yeah, y'all lost. And so like I mean that's a different experience. I got at least 5 more games than we did. I mean,
Sure.
so it's just all different. I mean, we lost a lot though. We 50 years old out there. So I mean, but like it definitely, I think as individual players for sure helped us progress a little bit quicker because
sure.
you kind of have to. But yeah, I mean, I guess it has it gives and it takes. I don't know if I would. You know what? I will. I wish we won more. I probably would have traded in like playing a little bit earlier just to have a little bit more winning. But I do appreciate what we're kind of able to build down the line though too after it's all said and done.
And you played baseball and you wrestled that year too?
Yeah, every year since my freshman year, I played all 4 sports. Baseball was the only sport I didn't letter in my freshman year, but every sport I played since I lettered in. So I had like 11.
What year did you go to state? Didn't you go to state one year in wrestling?
No, so I was ranked my senior year. I was ranked in state. Like I got up to like number 5 at one point, and then like we were at like a Coon Rapids tournament or an Eastview tournament or something like that. Ended up losing twice in the same tournament, which was crazy at that point. But I don't think I had a loss up until that point. And then I lost my ranking and never was able to kind of make it back. No, it wasn't even that. It's like I lost again in the state tournament, like in the state qualifying tournament. So in wrestling, everybody kind of makes it to the state tournament, kind of just, even if you're bad, you'll get a chance to wrestle in it. And so I was wrestling in the like qualifier to get to the state tournament, and dude ended up losing to it, if I remember correctly. He ended up like taking like 3rd or 4th or something like that in state, but never made it to the actual tournament. But I was ranked for a little bit there.
Okay.
Carlton did though. Carlton made it to state twice, I think, maybe.
Okay. So your junior year, that's when things started picking up for North. I got some transfer. Ain't that the year Pearl transferred in? His junior year?
I think Pearl came in our sophomore year, but he couldn't play until our junior year.
Junior year, right.
Yeah,
so how was that year? I got the Coach TP, that was his second year. I had some young cats coming in, playing that I remember.
Yeah. So that was actually like that was like the year that things started to gain traction. Like that's the year where experience plus size started to kind of meet each other. And then if I remember correctly, we actually started to get more numbers because we had Dunwoody come and be part of North High School. I think that was my junior year, if I remember correctly.
I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah. But so like maybe we had 400 or 500 students at North, but then we had another 400 or 500 students at Dunwoody. Maybe, I don't know the exact numbers, but you get what I'm saying. So we had more people to kind of pick from it and get athletes. So we actually did get a couple new athletes from Dunwoody. I know a few offensive linemen. I can't remember all their names, but like one dude named Corey, another dude, Dimitri, like helped the offensive line because at that point in time, like in inner cities, most offensive linemen are like 5'5", 180 pounds, whatever. These two dudes, one of them was in high school was 6'4", like 270. Another one was like maybe 6 foot, but he's like 300 pounds. Like you get some extra beef up front. Now you actually, okay, we can run the rock for real. Like we can actually move some stuff. I'm like, I ain't huge, but I'm good at what I do. So that's when we start to see like the culmination, like I said, of size, athleticism, experience, and stuff start to come together. I don't think we won a whole lot my junior year. I want to say maybe we went right around 500, but we were in every game. It wasn't a game that like besides the YZ game, I think we got blown out pretty.
That's a 200 player team right there.
And literally, like that year, they had like 5 players from that year alone go D1. But then the next year, they had like another 15 players go D1. Like there was
Wait, so y'all played them back to back?
We played them our sophomore year and our junior year. And then yeah. So, but again, the juniors that they had on that team, like they weren't like some of them. Like they were good, but they were starters, but they didn't like it's like Toby Obanaki or whatever that dude is. Grant Nelson, the other linebacker. Like they were playing at that time at was it? They weren't all of them weren't starters. I can't remember all their starters' names.
What's the dude that was our class? He went to Stanford. He was cold.
I can't remember his name, but you know what I'm talking about. Though. Yeah, he was a starter then. He was a starter. He decapitated like several offensive linemen trying to like come and pull. He killed me one time, like trying to come around and pull on the corner. Like I can't remember his name. He has some crazy long name though. But
yeah, I'm gonna remember when we get out of here. I feel like it.
But yeah, so we played against YZ our junior and sophomore year. Both homecoming games too. Like one was at YZ, one was at our place, and yeah, they stumped the crap out of us. I mean, they like you said, 200 roster team. Our senior year, at least 15 to 20 players D1. They had some animals for sure. So it's good. Hey, but we put up a good fight in the first half. We were only down by 2 touchdowns, I think, in the first half, and then final score was like 56 to like 0 or something.
Man, y'all had some growing pains at North. So just up to your junior year, what was like? Was there any like standout guys besides Wayzata like in the city that you like? Oh yeah, these dudes is cold. Like
Holy Angels like moved. They like moved like a unit. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's just like a wall of men just moving all together in solidarity. They were really good. Washburn, my junior year, Rashid Hagman. Like, do I need to say more? Like, I vividly remember this dude catching a one-handed pass for like 60 yards over his like left shoulder, spinning, stiff arming our corner, stiff arming our safety, hurdling another dude, and then scoring a touchdown. It's like that was like the third play of the game. It's like what you supposed to do after that?
And he was like 2'6", 260, going crazy.
And he was a good player, but their quarterback was really good too. I can't remember his name, but
Brandon King.
I knew it was something.
Brandon King was cold.
He was cold. I think Cedric Martin was even a receiver at the time, like a hooper from them. Like those dudes were amazing.
They had Trail that year too. Juice was over there.
We didn't play this team, but I went and watched them because I knew some people at the school. Edina had an amazing team that year. I think that's the year like they had Anders Lee. Like if I remember correctly, but they were pretty good. I never played against them though, but the two teams for sure, Washburn, Wayzata, Holy Angels, man, they were a unit. Surprisingly, for 1 year, Southwest, they weren't like your traditional like powerhouse school, but you could not stop them like at all. You just couldn't
I was at that game.
I don't remember what the final score was, but I know it was like 72 to like 40 or something like that. Like they beat us pretty handily, but like that year, dude, they had like 2 receivers that like were top 5 in like the nation in receiving yards. Their quarterback led the nation in passing yards.
They had Tonka, which he was going crazy. He led the nation in receptions
and receiving yards.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I think the only thing he didn't lead them was touchdowns. No, he did. He did.
The quarterback was Elliott Matthew. He was a dog he was from Louisiana. I remember coming to that game because it was like the first game because you know the city always played first. Y'all play on Thursday, and then we played on Fridays. So I remember coming to that game, and when I say they were straight air raids, everybody was getting ball crazy.
And literally, like it was just like slants and goals, and for the most part, but like,
everything was quick because you know that coach came and coached us at De La Salle the following year. So we had that same exact offense with our skilled players. We scored 70 a game. It was crazy. He scored
Yeah,
80 twice. It was
because y'all had twice the athletes Southwest did. Like,
man.
I can't believe it. But no, dude, yeah, that was a unique. I won't say they were like a great team, but like that combination of like receivers and passing that was something to watch. But yeah, those 3 teams or 4 teams for sure. I can remember like they were. Wayzata though, I will never forget the amount of people that they marched out. Like how just it was just playing against like grown men for 60 minutes or 48 minutes, I guess, in high school. It was they were interesting for sure. Y'all was really good though too. We went and watched a lot of y'all games. I think that was the year that y'all first got your own field right behind y'all.
That was senior year. Yep.
Okay. Senior. We definitely went to watch y'all. Y'all were really good though too. Like, it was impressive to watch how y'all like y'all ran for like 250 yards a game.
Well, you see how our running back was. It was epic. So it was crazy. So junior year, obviously after your junior year, right? That's when recruiting started picking up. That's when people can start contacting you for football. What were some of the first people to reach out to you, football standpoint?
Honestly, so like I didn't have off the bat, I didn't have like any like real D1 offers or anything like that. They were all like D2 and NAIAs, and so and they're mostly like only one D2 school I think I can remember off the top of my head actually said like, yeah, we'll give you a scholarship if you come here and play. You're not gonna play or anything. I want to say that was Winona, but everybody else was like, I mean, D2 was like, yeah, you can walk on. Even some D1. So what's the NDSU school? India, like the small.
The JUCO?
No. They're still green in South Dakota. No, they're still green and like silver, but they're not NDSU.
Oh, Valley City?
UND.
Oh, UND.
I believe it. They offering like a little walk-on opportunity and stuff like that, but nobody actually besides Winona gave them like, hey, we'll give you a scholarship to come play football here. And
that's crazy.
I know. And at the time, like, after my senior year, I ended up like leading the state in sacks. I know it's the state of Minnesota and stuff, so like I had crazy stats, so kind of
still though.
No, I had like 20. It was like 21 and a half sacks or something. It was something crazy. Like my senior year, it was literally insane. But I was undersized though, so I mean, I was trying to play DN coming out of high school. I think I was like 6'1", 6'2", like 220, maybe 230.
That's too little.
At the time, that's too little. Nowadays, nigga, that's Micah Parson. But at the time, it was too little. Like they wanted you 6'5", whatever.
Bro, probably about 250 though. Micah Parson,
yeah, for sure. Honestly, and he's probably one of the best athletes in the NFL. So let me not do that. But you know what I mean? Like the size to play a DN and coming out of high school at that time was a little bit different. So I didn't get a whole lot of offers out there. But you know what happened though? Is like, man, I mean, I'm 18 years old. Like I ended up like gaining weight quick as heck. So like if I was like 220, 230 when I left high school, December or like the winter break of my freshman year, I was easily up to like 250, 260 easily, just because they told me eat as much as possible. They gave me extra food all the time. And shoot, now I think about it, it's the first time in my life that like I routinely knew for a fact that I'm going to get 3 square meals no matter where it's at. Like just because we have the calf and I have money like in the calf. So like, yeah, I gained,
we're gonna get to that. We ain't gonna we jumping ahead.
But yeah, so just Winona was the only place that actually offered me. And then so I
can't remember JUCOs or like D3s besides
NAIA. I don't think NAIA any of those places can offer you like. They can say, hey, come play football but they can't offer you scholarships. So no NAIAs, but the only D3s that actually told me to come play with them was Valley City, which is NAIA, Augsburg, and then Gustavus. And Gustavus was like last minute, honestly.
That's crazy as hell. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. But anywho, all right, so senior year comes. That's when North was 2 turned up. Then y'all go like, what, 6-2 that season? Because y'all lost to Washburn, right? Yeah. And then y'all
we lost to St. Paul Central and Washburn in the regular season, yeah.
But that was like the best season y'all had in years.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact timeline, but I know it has to be at least like 10 or 15 years. It's the most wins we had in the last whatever years. I know it's the only time that we even remotely came close to beating Washburn in like the last like 5 or 6 years or something like that. We ended up losing to them. I want to say it's like a touchdown or something like that.
Field goal.
Yeah.
Field goal. Talk about that game. Talk about that Washburn game your senior year.
That was the most emotionally driven game I think anybody from our class have ever played. Because to give context around it, we've never beat Washburn. Like, obviously since I've been in high school, but like in the last 10 or 15, I think they just beat them recently for the first time, like 20 some years or whatever. But we've never beat Washburn. Our senior year, we're not like really hyped up to be like super good or anything like that, but we in house, we know like, okay, we got some dogs here. Like, we worked super hard in the off season, we weight trained, everybody got a little buffer. Like, we doing this, like we know we're gonna be dogs. So in our minds, though, we know it's only one team in like the conference that can really play with us, and it's Washburn. And I can't remember what game it was. Maybe it was like the fourth or fifth game of the season. But I know both of us up until that point were either like undefeated or had one loss between the two of us, like up until that point. And only loss, we're undefeated, both of us going up until that point. And so we know pretty much everybody on Washburn team though. We know Jigga, we know Garrett Bender, we know the Weedy. The Wheaties. We know Marcus and like Marquise, and we know all them. We know everybody, man. Like we kicked it with these dudes. We hang out with them. They talk crap all the time. So it's like a lot of emotion behind this game. And so going into it, man, it's ramped up. Washburn, they've been whooping our tail for the last few years. They see that we come in. They crowd is there going crazy. We know each other. So I think like I remember like one like incident even before the game, like Jigga came up to me like trying to talk to me and shake my hand. I just remember looking at him like, no, we ain't cool, nigga. No, somebody's about to die tonight. we not shaking hands. Like he's like, oh, okay, it's like that, like ran off, but like just super like high emotions. Everybody's ready to go, but it's probably like one of the best games I think I've ever been a part of. Like I don't think I've seen anybody either side of the ball play as hard as that like high school football game, like. Because everybody played both sides too for both our teams. It was a tough game though, man. I can't remember all the details of it. I do know, like, man, it came down to a field goal or something crazy, and Carlton had the chance to block the field goal, like missed it by like an inch or something like that. But
y'all was sick,
dude. Because we knew we had that game. We knew we was gonna win. We played great all game. Like, one of the running backs broke an extremely long run to like put him in field goal position too. So I mean, they did what they needed to do to win. Like, but it just sucked though. But yeah, it was one of the better games I think I was a part of in high school.
So that year was also a good year too. Was that did you guys make it to state year that year? Or did you make it to the state championship, section finals?
We made it to. We actually made it to state that year.
I made it to state that year because I remember. Did y'all? Because y'all played BC the first. Didn't y'all play like BC the first round? Who did y'all play the first round? Y'all.
Columbia Heights.
Man, whoever y'all played the first round, y'all. Because I was watching it, man. Y'all smacked them. I said, "Oh yeah." I think I seen who was in y'all sections. I'm like, "There's no way they're not making a state." Oh, did you guys play Holy Family?
Okay, so we did make it to state. That's what it was. We made it to state and lost to New London. I was like, did we make it to state? Okay, yeah, we did make it.
Y'all did.
So we played. Man, I don't know who we played in the first round, but we played Columbia Heights and Holy Family for sure. I don't know who the third team that we played though. But yeah, so that was the first year we actually were seeded in like the playoffs and stuff like that. I think we were like number 2, and Holy Angels or Holy Family were number 1. And going into that playoff round, we had just lost to St. Paul Central, and the reason not the reason, but like we lost to St. Paul Central, just like we came into the game thinking like, okay, can't nobody beat us, especially from St. Paul. Like we've been beating pretty much everybody by 100 points every game. Like this is St. Paul Central, cool. We seen them on film, like they can't play with us, but they did not feel that way. They felt like they could play with anybody, so they came out there that game and they did everything they can to win that game. They played hard as heck. They were, and it was a rainy game too. And North, we had a crappy field at the time, so it was mud everywhere. And they just came out and like wanted to win more, ended up beating us. And so from there though, we had like 2 weeks off, I believe, until we played the first playoff game. I can't remember who we played. We was all pissed off. Everybody was mad as heck. Like we didn't think we should have lost to them. Knew if we would have won that game too, it would have gave us the number 1 seed in the section and all this stuff. And so just mad as heck.
Won conference.
Yeah, like all that. And so mad as heck, practice extremely hard. Coaches was going ham on us. Oh, even like a crazy little quick segue. So during that week of practice, one of the weeks of practice going into like the playoff game, like we were having like an extremely hard practice right outside of our football. We had our football field 2 blocks away, and we had like a field right in front of our actual school. And so we were practicing at the field right in front of our school, having a tough practice one day, and out of nowhere, dude, like this is just like kind of like things of growing up in North Minneapolis. 2 dudes run past shooting at each other like while we're outside practicing, and so like I remember we all had to like break and run, everybody running in different directions and all this stuff, and it's like, dang, those are some of the realities of like playing, like growing up in the hood right there. But I think it kind of ultimately like brought us even closer together. We came back and got back to practice and like, act like nothing happened and went about our day. And so, yeah, right. But yeah, so practice super hard, and I really don't remember who we played first, but I know we beat the dog crap out of them. I know like it was like 48 to like 6 or something like that. It wasn't even close the first like half. We'll put our backups in eventually for them to come in and play, but we went out there with a mission to dominate. So we beat them. Don't remember who played in the second round, but I do remember that Holy Angels game probably being like one of the craziest games to ever be a part of for sure.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember the final score. I want to say it's like maybe 26-24 or something like that. So it wasn't something too crazy. But man, Rome, from start to finish, the game was back and forth. Like I think the game started off with them like getting like a 50-yard run or something like that. They didn't score a touchdown off of it, but they just like set the tone. Like, we got this 230-pound running back in high school. We about to run him down y'all throat all game. Y'all can't do anything about it. And we ended up like snapping it. Okay, it's like, hey man, we're gonna have to sell out pretty much every play. It's really what it was. Going back and forth throughout the entire game. I know at one point we were down like 10 points, maybe or something like that, going into like the fourth quarter. I don't remember the exact situation, but Carlton did some heroics. This is the best game I think he ever played in his entire life. He did some heroics to score a touchdown, diving, some Cam Newton type of stuff. But
this the Holy Family game?
Huh?
Is this the Holy Family game?
This is the Holy Family game. Yep. And so we're playing at North too, by the way. I don't remember how it all played out. Like it was such a long time ago, but I know it came down to like we were up by 8 points, and Holy Angels had the ball, maybe like 2 minutes left or something like that. And just to give you some context, they've been running the ball down our throat the entire game. Like maybe got over 200 some yards worth of rushing. Just their quarterback, their running back, everybody's just killing it. We're down. I mean, we're up 28 to. I'm just throwing this up, 28 to 20, and they go down the field and score with like 2 minutes left. Like they go down pretty easily, like running it down our throat. Score is 26-28. Well, they have to go for 2. Their running back has been going crazy all game. So they're gonna give it to him up the gut. We know this. We're in a huddle saying, yeah, they're gonna give it to big dude out the back or whatever. So we all game plan, hey, dive in, no bear crawl, lineman bear crawl, everybody over the top, like make sure y'all still out. Play come around, they hike the ball. We know what's going on. This man Carlton, like we all selling out. So I'm bear crawling on the ground. I'm climbing through the whatever. Linebackers over the top. This man Carlton comes like from the safety position, dives over all the crap, meets like the running back in the middle. They both hit each other, fall sideways like a half an inch from like the touchdown, like to save the game. Like it was actually one of the most insane things that like I've ever seen. But that dude played his out of his mind. Like, he had like 200 rushing yards. He had like maybe like another 100 passing yards. But he went though, like, and then saved the game too, like to send us to state. So
yeah, that's wild. So I'm looking at your schedule. I pulled it up. Your senior year. I was actually at that Camden game. Y'all beat them 45-6. Y'all beat Edison 71. Camden 45-6. Y'all beat Edison 71-8. Southwest, y'all smacked them because everybody came to do the sub. 38-12. Y'all beat Roosevelt 58-8. Y'all defense was going crazy. Y'all lost to Washburn. That was the game of the year. 17-14.
Yeah, I knew that game was close. They wanted a field goal, dog. That was like,
yeah. Shane Hassan was a new school, so y'all smacked them 36-0. Y'all smacked South.
They had one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, they field was crazy.
Who? I'm sorry.
St. Paul Central. That's when y'all lost 18-16. And then y'all played Burlington Center first, and that's crazy. Y'all only beat them 24-0, but we blew them out by.
I don't even remember playing. But yes, that is. I don't remember playing them.
I remember because coming because I told you I was obviously I'm following y'all my homies. I'm like, and they always post everybody's schedule in the section. I'm like, they play BC. I'm like, oh, y'all finna kill them, bro. Like, cause we used to blow them every time. But
Yeah, we did play a couple teams that y'all like either came across or played.
and Breck, y'all played Breck. Y'all smacked them
Yeah,
48-20.
okay. I was thinking of Columbia Heights, but it was Breck. It was
Breck, yep.
yeah.
Breck, we blew them too by like 60.
Hey
So
yo,
we used to kill them, bro, like for real. And then what you just explained, Holy Family, 29-27. That's crazy. And then y'all lost to the eventual champions, New London Spicer, 28-8. I know that
yeah,
was gut wrenching, but that quarterback, Jamie Mosley, was the dog, man. Talk about that.
man.
He was a junior too at the time.
I say when you come across dogs, like you just come across some dogs. So just to give some context to this New London Spicer game, we lost 28-8. The first half it was 8-8. Going into halftime it was 8-8. And it just kind of shows you some of the disparity between like larger schools and like inner city schools, or just like smaller schools. So they had 100 people dressed on the sideline easily, probably more than that. We had our 45 maybe, but only 25 of us played, and so yeah, we knew going into it. They quarterback was our scout. They had a receiver. To this day, man, I can't. I want to Zylstra. Zylstra. He ended up going to the NFL. One of their brothers went to the NFL. I don't remember it. Was it Zylstra that played? Yeah, it was. The oldest one was like Zach Zylstra or something like that. Probably one of the best receivers I've ever seen, like in high school. And I ain't gonna hold you at the time. We played against a lot of black people. I ain't seen like Ladarius. I ain't seen like so for this like little white dude to come out here and cook like this, boy, he was insane. But again, he was a dog. He ended up going to play for like some college. I know we played against him in college. He cooked there. He ended up going into the league and everything. But it just kind of showed the difference though between like size and all that stuff in school. And like while we had athletes, like they just had more numbers. It was like we had our top tier athletes were probably better than their top tier athletes, but their mid tier athletes were better than our mid tier athletes, and they had more of them. And then their lower tier athletes were better than our lower tier athletes, and they had more of them. And so after a while, just kind of like just getting worn down. When you playing offensive tackle and you running do 6 like 9 times in a row, and then you don't get a touchdown, and you come back and play DN on that same side, and you chasing this little JP dude around for freaking it feels like hours because he really would just like run around in circles and like not even really leave the pocket, just make you chase him around in a circle and then like throw a dot for like 60 yards. It's like, but they were for real though, dude. In the first half though, I mean, our athleticism kept us in the game. It kept them from getting huge plays. After a while though, we just got worn down. And actually going into the half, we were up, I want to say 8-0. And the little JP dude, the little quarterback, had some crazy scramble, broke another offensive lineman or defensive lineman, pump fake somebody, ran for like 30, 40 yards, and then scored a touchdown going into halftime. We were up. And so it kind of was like a little deflating going into halftime. And from there, it was outmanned us from there on out. Like they didn't have an offensive lineman that played defensive line. Their 2 tackles, both of them were like All-Americans, if I remember correctly, but are all-state players by the time it was all said and done. Running back, I can't remember their running back name, but he was an all-state running back too. So they just had some athletes, man. I mean, they deserve to win. I don't remember who they played in the championship, but I think they beat them pretty easily.
Blanco?
Yeah, and I think they beat them. Yeah, we went to that game. Yeah.
Nope. Yep, I was there too. I was hot. That should have been us.
But yeah, man, we were in the game. It was a close game. It just came down to numbers thing. It's to the point where Carlton, I think up until that point, he had quit playing safety for most of the year. I think in the second half of that game, he just had to come in and play safety just because like we didn't have enough like man to like rotate in. So it just just got out of hand eventually. But
So that year you make all state and you end up playing in the all state Metro game, right?
Yep.
So when you was there, you roomed with a guy named Jeff Du Bois.
JD, my boy, one of the most
Yeah,
unique men I've ever met.
yeah, he told me, he said y'all was up there kicking it up there in that little team, that little. So before that, so I know you ended up going to Gustavus. Like what was the deciding factor in you going there? And did you take a visit there?
Yeah, just to kind of make it short and sweet. At the time, like my whole idea was like, man, if I'm not going to play D1 football, like I probably don't even really matter if I'm about to go play football or not. At that time, I was just kind of thinking like, man, well, whoever just give me the most money to go to school, I'm about to do it. And I think at the time it was like Valley City up in North Dakota. Basically, was about to pay for my full ride to go to school. I'm like, cool, let's do it. But I want to say late May, or right around the time you graduate high school, Gustavus came to visit Carlton. again. He turned him down for like the third time or something like that. But they came to visit him again. Like I guess he didn't actually even go and like visit with him. And it's like, well, since I'm here, I might as well just like visit with like you and Pearl and somebody's stuff. But I don't know why Pearl never showed up. I ended up showing up to the meeting. Just chopped it up with Galindo, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he
Galindo
recruited me
did.
too.
Yep, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Galindo, if I remember correctly.
Yep, Coach Glenda.
Yeah, ended up chopping it up with him for a little bit, and he's just convinced me to come down for a visit within the next week or so. So I ended up going down there for a visit. It was right around like their like spring football time, and went down there. And I just never been any place outside of North Minneapolis, like for real, up until that point. Now I think about it, and I went down there. I've never felt like such like a homely like vibe. Like everybody is like, "Hey, how's it going? Like, what are you doing? Do you want to go do this? Hey, where you from?" Like asking like super friendly questions. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, and it's kind of a culture shock too. I'm from North Minneapolis. I am not around a whole lot of white people and stuff too. And sometimes you don't necessarily hear all the good things that can come with it. So I was like, man, this is crazy. Then on top of that, the campus was absolutely beautiful. No shots at Valley City, no shots at like at Winona or anything like that. But when I got up to the campus, like it has like this giant like flower garden that like spans like right underneath the Gustavus sign, and you drive up this hill to like get up there, and so you kind of just feel like you're like sitting on the it's like sitting on a cloud like up there. Like it was just dope as heck. Everything looked, for the most part at that time, everything like looked new and modern, especially compared to like the other places that I've been. It's like everybody was super nice. They had a I know it shouldn't sound crazy, but they had a turf field, and at the time that wasn't a thing like across every like college. But they had a turf field, weight room and gym had some stuff to be desired. But I'm from the hood. Our weight room and gym ain't nothing crazy anyway, so I'm not too
Right.
focused on that. So, but yeah, just all that stuff combined. Everybody's super friendly. Like I just remember too, like one person straight up told me like, "Hey man, like." If you come here, it's not a guarantee that you're gonna play like right away. It was like I guarantee that you're gonna have a good time. It was a black dude from Washburn. I can't remember his name. Man, I cannot remember his name, but he played like DB or something or for Gustavus. He's like, I can't guarantee you'll play. He was like, you'll have a good time. He's like, I'm from South Minneapolis. Like, I kind of got similar experiences. Like, coming to Gustavus was the best thing I ever did. So, took all that into account, and then I went and looked up, like, oh, this school is actually like a really good school too. It's like probably one of the academic schools in the nation. Like, and they want me to come play football there. Let's go see what's to it. So, did all that and went and see what's to it, and yeah, I ended up falling in love with it pretty quickly. Like, it was
All right, so back to the All-Star game. How was that rooming with JD up there, man? And how was the game experience, just to be recognized as one of the top players in the state? How
Yeah,
was that?
man, it was dope, man. First and foremost, like it's always nice to kind of like, I mean, I thought I was a pretty good athlete, and so when you kind of get the confirmation from other people that like, hey, this dude is pretty good, like that's always a good feeling. And yeah, just to be able to kind of measure yourself up against some of the best people, some of the best defensive linemen in the state. Shit, I was with, I don't remember all their names. Mohamed Chroma from,
My
uh,
boy.
yeah, one of the best defensive linemen in the state. Man from Blaine, Demetrius. I can't remember his name, but he ended up going to select a school in North Dakota. But he was another one of the best linemen in the state. So just to be able to like line up and compare yourself to some of these guys, like it's always gonna be dope. And two, like you don't necessarily know what you know until what you don't know. And so when you kind of get out there and you get to seeing like, oh dang, like there's these type of athletes out here, or there's this safety or corner, this white corner Ben Scully, like Skelly was locking people up left and right. But I'm from North Minneapolis. I ain't never seen a white corner do nothing like this. Yeah. So it was nice and refreshing to just kind of see like, athletes come from all walks and face of life. And like I met some really dope people. Like Mohamed Chroma to this day can chop it up with him. I can't remember I can't remember his first name, but play for Eden Prairie is their tight end / quarterback. Something Grant, one of the coolest dudes
I know
out.
talking about.
Yeah, one of the coolest dudes. He hung out with me pretty much every day when I was down there. JD, obviously, me and him ended up going to college together, but we was able to build a rapport there down at Gustavus doing the training camp. Taz, John Crockett. Knew him most of my life, but like we always just had like fleeting or passing interactions, and down there at the training camp, kind of got to kick and hang out a little bit more and stuff like that. So I mean, it was dope. You got to see some of the best athletes come from the state of Minnesota, and on top of that, like I don't know, I don't want to segue down onto it too far, but later on in college, went to go visit a lot of these guys at their colleges. Like I went to go visit these people at UNI, at UND, or whatever it may be, and that was just from playing football with them, like at the camps. It just gave you a lot of stuff, man. It gave you a lot of skills, relationships. You're able to build rapport. You're able to see some of the best athletes out there.
Okay. So you end up going to Gustavus. So talk about that. You transitioned from Northside, the hood, then you go all the way to St. Peter, Minnesota. How was that? And how was your freshman year? Like just transitioning like classroom, school, and obviously the football too. How about that?
Yeah, so like you know, just being from North Minneapolis, it's predominantly a black like place. Yeah, it kind of has changed a little bit over time. Like when we were growing up, it's predominantly black people over there. So to say it was a culture shock to go from middle income black people to being around relatively rich white kids like was a culture shock for sure. And too, just like how we handle things in our community versus like how they handle things in their community. Like we had jokingly roast each other, like get on each other's skin and stuff like that. And like they don't, not saying that they don't do that. It's just a different approach to it. So just like all that stuff, even just like a sense of community. Like everything was drastically different. But it was a tough change. I know my first 3 or 4 months there, man, I didn't really talk to anybody. I just straight up went to practice, went to class, and like went home. Even on the weekends after every game, I'll go back to Minneapolis every game, just like drive back home. I roam every time. Like I would
That was because it was only like 50 minutes away.
About an hour away. You know, half our games was up in the cities anyways. So like I just
stay home.
Drop us off in the cities. I'll just stay here and catch my own ride home. So just every day I was coming home and it was tough. One weekend, one of my teammates, he was a defensive lineman with me. He was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I noticed like you go home every weekend. Like why? Like why are you doing that?" And like at the time, I didn't like really participate in like drinking or smoking anything like that. So I wasn't like going out to parties and stuff. So I was like, man, honestly, like shoot, I don't like really like hanging out with y'all. We ain't got too many similar interests and all that stuff. And he was like, man, what you mean? He's like, you play like NCAA, which is at the time, you know, still out there. I was like, yeah, I play NCAA. He's like, I play NCAA. He's like, I didn't smoke. You smoke? I was like, no, I don't smoke. I was like, well, we don't need to smoke. We can play NCAA. He was like, you listen to rap music? He was at the time really big in like 90s hip hop and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm not super big in the 90s hip hop, but I appreciate the effort you're trying to make. But yeah, it started to become cool. My man Caleb. And Caleb, like, just kind of talked me out of my shell. And one weekend after the game, I'm getting ready to go home. He's like, you going home again? And he was like, dang, dude. He was like, the hour that you're about to spend driving home, just hang out with me, come do this, this, and this. And if you still want to go home afterwards, just go home. So went and hung out, went and got food at the calf, hung out with some of his friends, like, because he is from the St. Peter, Mankato area. So he even took me to hung out with like some of his like high school friends and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, this is actually kind of dope. Like, just like, it's a little adjustment, like, but you're not like crazy out of your depth. So after that experience, though, from there on out, I like just started to just get more acclimated with like the Gustavus lifestyle, just how what kind of comes with that. And so from there, it just grew on me. I grew on that place after a while, but it took me a little bit though. It took me about 3 to 4 months, I'd say for sure.
So how was the football part? Like, did you play right away as a freshman?
I got time right away. So I would say out of the first like 10 games, I probably played at least 4 or 5 of them for sure. I started one game. That was like a unique circumstance. I can't remember why. But I didn't even play that much that game, not the one that I actually started. But I got tick here and there. I know the time that I got the most tick, the most tick was against Augsburg. It's like the first time that they actually put me in a game, which was if any like guys, make sure you guys stay prepped and ready when it's your time to be called. I'm a freshman. I'm thinking I'm never gonna get called to get in this game. I'm 18 years old. I'm looking at these 22, 23, 24-year-old grown adult man with muscles.
Big
Like
boots.
they're never gonna put me in this game. So a little bit more context. The night before the Augsburg game, not supposed to do this, but I'm going out and partying. I'm a freshman. Nobody's like, I'm not gonna get put in the game. So I'm not even gonna travel. By the way, they're not gonna travel me to the game. I'm not. So this never. I'm like, yeah, they're not gonna put me. They're not even gonna travel me. Go out and party and do all this stuff. Didn't even drink at the time. Just like being out late at the was enough. Next day, Let's go and look at the travel roster. It was like Donte Green. I was like, wait, what the fuck? What the frick? It's like, man.
Are you cuss? You good?
I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not supposed to be on this travel roster, and I am tired as hell. But I was like, you know what? You gonna go take this hour trip. You gonna sleep on a bus, and you ain't even gonna see the field. Like, it don't matter. Let's go ahead, do what you need to do. Get on the bus, travel, and everybody already like, man, this nigga Dante here, like, someone kind of already off because like I haven't traveled up until that point yet. So get on the bus. Yeah, and I should have known too, because that week of practice they were giving me way more reps than I like ever gotten up until that point. And I thought it's because like the older dudes are starting to get sore and tired, and they didn't like want to take as many reps. Like, no, they're trying to get me ready to play in the game. So get to the game, still a little tired, like burnt out a little bit, but I'm still in my head. I'm like, I'm never gonna play in this game. Like Augsburg, like we're like 1-1, I think at the time, or 1-2, and like we need to win the game. Augsburg's not a bad team, they're not a great team. Nothing like I just don't think like me getting the game is gonna help us win. So it's never crossed my mind. And yeah, I can't remember the exact circumstances of how it even came about or what, but I just remember second quarter, just stays Dante, you're in. And again, I'm not holding my helmet. I'm like, pads aren't even strapped up underneath. I got my like shit on, but it's not strapped up underneath because I'm not getting this game. It's never going to happen. Scrambling, looking for my helmet. I know the playbook pretty well because I make sure like I was good with that stuff just in case. So wasn't too concerned.
Right.
But just like super nervous. I'm like in my head, I'm like, dude, if you weren't jogging onto the field, you'll be throwing up right now. Like you'll be puking like from how nervous you are. Shaking my ass off. But to give even like more information here, I go in and play DN at this time. Augsburg has an offensive tackle who was first team all conference the year before, and it's probably going to be unanimous first team All American this year. Like that year that I get in the game. This dude is 6'6, 270 pounds, maybe 27%, 25% body fat. So he's diesel. He's diesel. I get in there, dude. I'm scared. I'm like nervous, shaking. And I was like, man, at least like you just gotta go all out. Like you just gotta balls to the wall, do whatever you can, just try to get past this dude. So get in there, do my move, a dip, rip, hook. Got by him actually on the first time, but play was like a sweep or something to the other side, so you probably wasn't giving a whole lot of effort. Coming next play, I was like, all right, man, you know something. You know, you chop hands, dip, rip. You know you got something here. So like next play, I was like, all right, let me try something new. Come in there and I try to like push and pull him. And that's when I finally learned that like there is a difference between 18-year-old strength and 22, 23-year-old strength. I pushed my hands up into this man like this. He said, grab me like this, turned me on my side, threw me on the ground. I was like, yeah, like that's a grown man there. Like that, you can't do anything with that. You might be able to be a little faster, but that's grown man strength. But that right there kind of showed me like, yeah, it's a difference between like being talented and being skillful and like actually being good at the sport of football and still being talented and skillful. Like that dude was good at everything, like a technical genius, but on top of that, like the most diesel offensive lineman I've seen at that point. He had a 4-pack. Like, you know, up until that point, like having 4-packs as an offensive lineman is like pretty unheard of. Like he had a 4-pack. Like kind of shows you like how diesel this dude. Yeah, that was my first real time ever getting some real experience and man, stay ready, man. I didn't think I was gonna ever get on the field as a freshman. Again, I'm a tiny string being compared to these guys. They put me in the game. I still was able to kind of get some results off of my raw athleticism, but imagine if I actually got sleep the night before, if I studied film, or if I, you know what I mean? Like I probably could have won a rep or two. I probably could have, you know, but so just stay ready. You never know when that shit gonna be called. Because after that, I started to play pretty much consistently every game from there on out.
For sure. So, what year do you think? Because obviously, you know, I know your history of the statements. I know like y'all every year y'all got better as a team, but y'all record was just like, all right, it wasn't as good as you guys would hope. But as an athlete, what year did it click? Like when you knew, like obviously, you're playing in the MIAC. That's like top 2 Division III conferences in the country. Most of those teams either go to the championship. The top teams go to the championship, or at least 4 or 5 teams make it to the playoffs. So you playing against dogs, and some of them dudes even got like league looks and all that. What year was it that you just like, all right, click, like, all right, I know I can play, like I know I can hold my own?
I would say so. I started my sophomore year. You know, that's always going to be a good confirmation when your coaches have like the confidence in you to know, like, hey, we can put this guy on the field as a starter. He's going to produce results. So that right there gave me the confirmation I can play with him. I guess I want to say it was a game that really set it in my mind. It's like, all right, dog. So you know you're good at something, but then you get the confirmation that you're good at something. Those are two different things. I knew I was good at football, but this game against St. Thomas gave me the confirmation that I was good at football. They ended up spanking us pretty bad, if I remember correctly, that year. It was at Gustavus too. But the thing about St. Thomas is they produce like pretty much D1 caliber offensive linemen. Maybe they not are like D1 starters or like D1 like players are going to play every
They
rep.
definitely had the D1 rejects or people
You know
that
what I mean?
they
Like
always
they're
try.
good enough
Yeah,
to
for
be
sure.
on the D1 team. Maybe
For
not
sure.
starters in the D, but they're good enough to be there. And so we're playing
Mhm.
against St. Thomas. I want to say my sophomore year, we got spanked pretty bad. But dude, I finished that game with like 5 tackles, a sack, and I just remember it was one play in particular. I was playing DN at the time, and there was a double team coming at me. They called it out. I knew like the call. I was like, deuce, deuce. I knew that's coming my way. And instead of me like trying to avoid the double team or like get around it, I was like, you know what, man, be faster than them, beat them to the point. And like I just fought through as quick as hell to the point, got to their hips, and was able to split the defense, like split the double team between these two 300-pound offensive linemen coming at me, and got a tackle for a loss. Chased the running back down too. Like he was running like to the sideline, chased him down, dove at him, got like a shoestring tackle, and I was like, okay, like if this was Madden, like that would look raw. Right there, and I got up like celebrating, like, yeah, let's go, like screaming. I was like, yeah, that right there, that gave me the confidence to know like you are going to be good in like this conference in this league playing football here, and like you did some pretty incredible stuff against some pretty good players here. So from there on out, can't say I didn't have any bad games or anything like that, but from there on out, there was never any waiver in my confidence about what I can do.
So when you was up there, you played with Andre Creighton, and then
Yes,
you played
sir.
with another person, my boy Phil Butler. So talk
Yeah.
about them two. How was it like playing with them two guys up there?
Yeah, so Andre, for just off the bat, like one of the better like leaders for sure. Even so, you remember how I talked about Ronald Buck being like a good mentor and stuff, just like getting us in the right sports and stuff too. Outside of football, Dre was probably one of the like most like giving people that I've ever met. Like this dude, I want to say he basically graduated early, but like he would help me with class all the time. He always kept like mindset like you're a student athlete first, like just like Buck did. Um, always was very, and so when it comes to football and stuff like that, always on time, never like never lacking, never not practicing hard. Everybody, gonna complain about practicing. Like it is what it is. But like he wasn't that type of person. Like he was there to do it and get the work done. I want to say I don't know if he was a captain or not. Like I mean, a lot of us looked to him as a captain. Um, but yeah, I mean for sure. Like I don't know what his stats or anything was, but his impact was felt more just being a dope dude, being a good leader, being a dope football player. Dude was like a 220-pound like receiver at the time. That's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? Like, so it was just
Not
kind of
that tall, about 5'9", 5'10".
yeah. And then Phil Butler. I don't know if you know much about his like stats and stuff from high school, but his stats from high school are
No, he was. I ran track against Phil, and he
good.
was dumb. I thought I was fast. G, like he beat me in a race in high school. He
Yeah,
got me
bro,
one time.
that didn't stop him when he got to college. He was fast as heck in college too. I don't know
Yeah.
if he I don't know like what his records and stuff was in college, but he was really fast. But yeah, dude was really good. Just real quick, like kind of segue into like our friendship with Phil. Like first time I ever met this dude, like he had just transferred in from Mankato. Dude was in there playing NCAA in his dorm room, and the most confident, like even borderline cocky dude I've ever met. Like he is so sure of himself in every situation. That's something I like will always appreciate about him. He never lets any outside situation just kind of dictate how he feels about himself or like who he is, and that's something I've always appreciated about him. But yeah, first time I ever met him, dude playing NCAA, talking so much shit like, "Oh, I'm about to dub y'all, nigga. I'm about to bust y'all ass and all this stuff." Sitting there like, "Oh no, we got that work over here too. We know you decent at Mankato, but we got it over here." So just started out just like how any natural like homeboy like just talking crap and ends up playing NCAA, and from there me and Phil like to this day I literally just talked to him yesterday. Like to this day is like one of my best friends. But on the field, quickest, shiftiest like athlete I've ever seen. One of them that I've ever seen. He can stop on a dime. He can accelerate on a dime. He can catch. He can block when he want to block. Like he is a all around great athlete. Just wish we could have got him a little bit more involved in our offense, junior or senior, or senior year a little bit more. It's kind of, I mean, JD was a dog though. It's like it's kind of hard not to give him the ball 30 times a game. But Phil could do that. He can do it. He can do a lot of the stuff though. JD was thunder. Phil was lightning. If that makes sense. So
For sure. So after your sophomore year, junior came around, I know you kept progressing, but JD told me, I don't know if this was your junior or senior year, that you had broke somebody's leg from St. Thomas, was it? Was it the quarterback leg or something?
I don't remember if I was junior or sophomore year, but man, yeah, it was a super traumatic situation, dogs. They had a quarterback who was like, he was probably one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but he was like 6'2" or 6. Like, he was tall.
Was a Penn State transfer.
Something. He was a dog, but he was super tall, like 6'4", 6'5", or something like that. And like, I just know he was very good at like rolling out of the pocket, rolling out the pocket to his left side and kind of like scrambling downfield. But he does a good job of looking downfield before he scrambles. And so this is now, like, you can't do this stuff now. Like, but at the time, so he's rolling out, play starts, getting the backfield, quarterback, he's in shotgun, whatever. He's rolling out to his left side. And I'm coming from the right side, like, get around my man, whatever. I'm coming from the right side, trying to like track him down. And he's still looking downfield, trying to make a play downfield. But I'm seeing him getting ready to like take off. Like now I know this now. Like, yeah, you don't dive at quarterbacks, like lower extremities now, because it's actually a flag at this point. But like at the time, like, I'm about to make this tackle. He about to take off running. He ain't about to get away from me. So I dove to like get him before he took off running. And as I'm diving, he takes off, like plants his like foot to take off this way. And as I'm diving, I must have made like contact with his leg right at the same time. Man, and I'm 280 pounds. I'm diving on the 180-pound leg, dude. Like immediately I heard it and felt it snap. And so I rolled over to the side, get up, dude, quarterback gets up, pulls his foot up. You just see his foot, like, it's supposed to be facing this way, turned this way, like, hanging off to the side. I'm like, dang, like, felt terrible. Jogged to the sideline, like, got on one knee and started throwing up. Because it looked crazy wrong. His foot, like, if it's supposed to be like this, it was like this, like, bones sticking out, everything, though. It was messed up. Like, felt terrible about that, man. Because again, I'm just trying to make sure he can't scramble and get away from me. But he was just planning to take off and bad. Yeah, nowadays you'll get flack for that. You will. I think you will get flack. But back then, it's like I was just trying to dive and make a play. And yeah, I think that ended his like season for sure. I think his career at St. Thomas. I don't think he went back to St. Thomas after that.
I'm sure it did, buddy. Thanks to you. I was kidding.
All right.
So your senior year, switching your jersey to number 7, right?
My senior year, junior. It was my junior year, I think.
Junior. How was that being a single digit as a line? You thought she was all that, huh?
Had to, because I'm telling you, like, even in the nation, because I think I remember going to like look it up to see like there's any defensive tackles in the nation with a single digit number. There were like, I think like 10. It was like 2 for Notre Dame. It was like 1 for Ole Miss or something like that. At the time, Aaron Donald was just like I think he's like a sophomore or freshman. He didn't wear single digits, but he should have. It's that dude, but it's just a few dudes around the nation I seen wearing single digits. And all jokes aside, though, I actually sincerely just asked, being funny. I was the equipment director was him, used to chop it up all the time, having a good time, and he was like, "Yeah, so what number you gonna wear for next year?" And I was like, honestly, man, whatever, like the lowest single digit number open, I'm picking that. Like that's me. I was like, if it's number 9, that's me. If it's number 6, whatever, 7, I'm taking it. And he's like, well, number 7 is open for next year. And I was like, I mean, like, that's me. I'm taking it. Sign me up. As a joke, not even like being serious. Like I'm thinking again there, because I didn't even think legally, rule wise that you can't.
Rule wise, right?
Yeah, that you can't have a, but. It doesn't really matter the defensive tackles in DES. And at the time, too, I don't know if you knew this, but I played fullback too. So I technically could have like a number like that. So, but yeah, they ended up giving me the number. And I didn't like really realize it hit until spring camp. We're going to our lockers, and our lockers are in numerical number one, whatever, whatever. I'm going down to the fucking 90s to go and sit down. None of my stuff. I was like, okay, what the hell? Because I was like 95 the year before, or 98, something like that. So I'm like, okay, go and ask Wayne. I was like, hey, Wayne, where's my stuff? Like, he was like, oh, you're number 7. Like, you don't remember you asked for it? I was like, I didn't think y'all serious. It's like, yo, let's get it. Went down, I'm sitting next to receivers. I'm sitting next to Phil and our quarterbacks and stuff now. Because, they're all like single digit numbers. Like Phil, our quarterback, one of our DBs. Like, I'm big ass lineman getting dressed next to these guys now. But yeah, it was dope though, man. And let me rock it out. I think honestly though, too, it kind of, not me in particular, but I just think like it just opened up the door just for like stuff like that down the line. I think Gustavus routinely has one dude who either a DN or a defensive tackle who has like a single digit number now. I think. I don't know if he was there last year. Like a little tradition I started.
So your senior year come, was you all conference? Were you all conference or all region that year?
So my junior year I was all conference second team for sure.
Second team, right.
And my senior year, I was all conference first team, and then I got All American honorable mention.
Ooh, what was All American?
Honorable mention. That means at least one person on that panel voted to say, "Hey, we think this dude's good enough to be an All American." But not all.
Did you get a reward? Did you get like a certificate for that or anything?
All conference for sure, not the All American thing. It's just honorable mention. So all conference, yes. Probably you might even have it around here somewhere. Yep, my all conference got a award for that, which was actually pretty dope though too. Because I'm not gonna hold you. My senior year, I do remember there being at least 3 defensive linemen that I actually thought was as good as me. One from St. John's, one from St. Thomas, another one from Concordia. And so to be like first team amongst those guys was actually pretty dope. Dude from I think it was me and the guy from Concordia were number 1, and then the dude from St. John's and St. Thomas were number 2. But they were really good though. That was a nice feeling. Real unique story. So up until my senior year, I never actually made it to a banquet at my college because I know, y'all gonna judge me on this, but banquets are usually like a month or 2 after like the football season is done.
Yeah.
So during that time though, I'm usually trying to catch up on all my partying and drinking and going out. So my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, I never made it to our like award ceremony or anything because I was always hungover, like throwing up or something like that. So I never actually like received my awards until my senior year.
Wow. Wow.
So my senior year though, like the same thing happened though. I was partying and drinking, and it's my senior year, so I'm like, I'm really going to have this time. I'm actually like really fucked up, like hungover bad. But I can't miss it though, because it's my senior year. Can't miss this for the 3rd or 4th year in a row. My mom and dad is here. Yeah, and actually my coach was actually pulling me to the side. It's like, yeah, we know you we know you've been missing like the last banquets because you've been hungover. Like you can't miss this one. It's your senior year. Like we have special awards and all this stuff. Like make sure you make it. So do my thing. Make sure I don't like get super drunk and all this stuff and whatever. Somehow, some way, man, my ass like didn't drink or anything like the night before, but I went and like got Subway or something that like made me get food poisoning. So I didn't like necessarily. I wasn't hungover, but like had very similar symptoms the whole time. And so I'm sitting there like in this banquet, like every 5 minutes getting up to run to the bathroom, like fucking poop or like throw up, whatever. It was just bad. But my senior year though was the first time I went to the awards, and yeah, it was a interesting time for sure. I am mad though I didn't go to any of the other banquets beforehand though. It was a pretty dope ceremony. Yeah, unique story though, Ron. Only went to one of those banquets out of 4.
I went to all my banquets. What? That's crazy. Was it so when you got done with football, obviously, there's like NFL, overseas, or any of those things you were interested in doing or not?
One of our coaches, I can't remember who it was for sure, but one of them like had a connection with like the Dallas Cowboys, and they did tell me that they can get me an opportunity to go and try for their practice squad. And like honestly, after this, like all the football and all the injuries and all like the time that's dedicated to it, like the weightlifting, all that stuff, I was just so tired of playing football. I was tired of playing sports in general. Like I just didn't want to do it. I couldn't imagine going to be in a practice squad for $45,000-$50,000 a year, like destroying my body for the foreseeable future. And I can probably go be a banker and make the same amount of money without destroying my body. So I
Right.
had at least one opportunity. I knew I wasn't going to do it. Probably if I would have looked more into it, maybe, but it wasn't for me. A lot of stuff that I kind of got out of playing football too was like being around my family and friends and the camaraderie and all that stuff. And like, when you going to the next level, it's a job at that point. So all that
Right.
family and friends stuff, while I still may apply, it's not necessarily at the forefront of what's kind of going on. You go to your job, play football, you go home and take care of your family. I don't want my hips and ankles and stuff destroyed trying to, I don't have a family, but trying to like run around with my kids or anything like that. So just
Right.
never really gave it too much more thought.
Nah, I feel you on that one. You get burnt out, man. So, so if you could take you back from your whole career, what is like, you know, one thing to say, like to sum up your career, like on a positive note, and then what's one thing that you like regret as far as like your athletic career?
One thing that my athletic career, if I can sum it up, is not even like a word. It's like, man, I tried hard and made sure that it sounds cheesy, it sounds corny, but I made sure that I laid it out every time, like to the point where, yeah, you probably lost body parts, you probably lost time and stuff like that. But like, I really sincerely believe that as much as I could give to the game or the games I gave, and whether I came up short or didn't get it all done, it's something I'll always be proud about for sure. I mean accolades for sure, but that stuff kind of comes with it. But the friendships, the relationships, the this is even stuff now. It's my daily life nowadays, like the mental fortitude that kind of comes from playing so many sports like wrestling and baseball. Like that stuff still kind of rings present in today's day and age for me because we don't got
Mhm.
to to it, but it's the stuff that now that I'm still kind of working with. But those are some things that I think I always take away from. And something I wish I probably could have did more or gave more to the game. I wish I would have knew more about how taking care of your body can make you a better athlete or like have longevity in it. We know this stuff now into 2025, but we're playing sports in 2010 and 2015. It was like science just kind of coming around that stuff. And so I wish I kind of would have took that aspect of it just a little bit more seriously. I did base a lot of like my abilities and stuff off of like my natural talent and stuff. So I kind of wish, oh yeah, I wish I would have lifted a little bit more weights here. I did a little bit more ladder drills for the most part. I think when I was out there playing sports, nothing. I was out there playing. I gave it. I said,
That's real. That's real. All right, a couple more questions. We're gonna wrap up. Obviously, the transition from like obviously you graduate college, right? And then just the transition from playing sports your whole life, like that's been our identity. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we did for you said since the second grade. I know I was playing since the fifth grade. Like, so what has the transition from college sports like not playing to all right now? I gotta get a job. I gotta work. It's real life. I gotta start paying the real bills. Talk about that. Like, talk about that transition. Like,
so I'm probably going to try to generalize for most athletes out there.
yeah, for sure.
I think it is probably one of the toughest transitions to go through. Whether you at the D1 level, D2, D3, professional, whatever it may be, whether we admit it or not, when we are athletes and you're a good athlete, when you're going through life, you're getting constant reminders from everybody, from everything, from outside sources that what you're doing is right, that what you're doing is good, that what you're doing is feeding the machine and making everything move forward. And like I said, you get tangible gratification from that, accolades. So if I'm really good at basketball, I'm an all conference player. I get offers to go play at Duke. I get offers to go, you know what I mean? And with those things, you get more and more stuff. I get to get nowadays, I get to get a KFC commercial. I get to get you know what I mean? So, um, one of the hardest things to do is to kind of be, especially if you're a good athlete, is to go from a world where a lot of the stuff that you do is tangibly rewarded or you have some accolades to kind of back that up into a
Mhm.
world where A lot of the stuff that you are going to be doing is only recognized and only rewarded by yourself. So you're not going to get an accolade for being a good dad. You're not going to be I mean, you might from your kids and stuff, but it's like, there's not like a governing party of fathers like Sharon. Us 12 guys decided Sharon is a good dad. Here's an award for, you know what I mean? We watched all his film up until this point, and Sharon has done good dad stuff. You know what I mean? It's just stuff that you kind of have to internalize and just, sincerely be okay with yourself. Just speaking on myself personally, that was a tough transition. Like, while I know I was a really good athlete and I know I'm relatively smart, I graduated from a good school and stuff like that, I go into a corporate America where I'm putting 40, 50 hours a week in corporate America, and there's no boys to that. There's no tangible. The only thing is it's a paycheck that realistically is going to be gone in a couple of days anyways due to these bills. So, and so that can be a tough transition mentally. And I mean, for me, it definitely was. It drained me for a few years there. It made me kind of feel, I'm gonna be honest with you on this, man, kind of feel a little bit unseen, especially given I was a top tier athlete for a long time there. So like, I'm going from that to being one of 1,400 workers at TCF, processing cars and stuff. So it's like, oh, I mean, it's cool. I'm taking care of my bills and nobody's like, but like, you always feel some type of way, like, dang, like, is this worth it? Am I doing the right thing? Is this, because again, when you're doing the right thing in football, when you're doing the right thing in basketball, like, you get tangible trade-off for that. And so I think that can be a hard thing for a lot of athletes to kind of overcome, especially athletes who've done it at the highest level. Again, I was a D3 athlete. Imagine some of these guys at the D1 level who've been told their entire life that you're great at this, you're great at this, you're great at this, you're great at this. Now it's time for them to go and sell cars. And like,
man,
you know what I mean?
Touchdowns on Saturdays and you slinging cars Monday through Friday.
You know what I mean?
Saturday.
That can be a tough mental transition. I mean, like I said, even for myself, there are probably been times now where, like, especially now, like, given everything I have kind of going on in my personal life, I do kind of remind myself though, those things that made me that good athlete, that made me that hard working person, like, those aren't things that just kind of go away. You just have to transform them into other things. You have to transform from being a good defensive lineman to being a good father, to being a good boyfriend, to being a good son, to being and just kind of trying to focus that same attention and effort towards those things. And I'm telling you, Ron, there have been just recently times where I have not even followed that little idea I just gave you, but I know that I am capable of doing it. Like, I know that I have the ability to do it. If I need to do, I mean, we have the ability to lock in for months on end to get physical tasks done. So I know I can. So
that's real. That's real. I like that. That was good. That was probably one of the better answers that I've had.
I mean, but it's real though, Roman. I'm like being that was like one of my toughest things. Like, I'm working at TCF, and like, I just came from being told I'm an All-American and all this stuff. Like, I'm working at TCF, I'm trying to process the most payments because I think this is gonna get me some attaboy or some. Yeah, you did a good job. I was like, no, motherfuckers went home on a Friday at 6:30 while everybody else went home early. Nobody said anything about it. Came back in on Monday. Nobody gave a fuck about it. I'm like, so I was like, yeah, well, this is a grown adult life, sir. Like, nobody really
don't care as long as the job get done.
Exactly. But it's a little lesson to learn. But I want other people to kind of like understand that too. Like, your value is not necessarily wrapped up in what you physically can do for somebody. That just really goes not just to work. Even like, we ain't going off of sports here, but it can even go to other places like your love life or your friends or family and stuff like that. We talk about this stuff all the time off of this, but yeah. So try not to let that one thing be what you see your value in. Let me put it that way. Okay. In yourself.
But yeah, so who are the top 5 players that you ever played with? This could be high school, college, Parkboard.
Played
with.
So I think this is going to be easy. Carlton Littlejohn is probably going to be
number 1.
Because I can't think of another athlete that did all the stuff he did at the highest level that he did, that I played with. So Carlton Littlejohn for sure. And I'm just naming people that I played with or played against. Just played with?
You played with.
Okay, yeah. Carlton Littlejohn, Jeffrey DeBose. Not even close. If I can do 1A, 1B with Carlton and Jeffrey, I would, but I'm going to give the edge to Carlton because he went to play D1 and he won 5 national championships, and so I'm going to just give the edge to him in that regard. We're going to take this one back he was very raw at playing defensive end. He was probably the most athletic person I played with on the defensive line. You remember Pingy Mabanda? Pingy
Yep.
at the defensive end in high school. So if I had 21 sacks, I think he had like 19. And this is his first year ever playing DA. He was a dog. Like, but he's an athlete though. I like playing basketball with that dude. He was an athlete. He played tight end, running back, and all that stuff for us, but he was really good. We're gonna go back to college. Phil Butler. Only had 1 year with Phil, but Phil Butler was really good at everything that he did for the most part. He just didn't get a whole lot of opportunities to do. Like he played running back behind JD. He played receiver behind one of our other like receivers that ended up becoming like an All-American after we left. So he just kind of had like a weird like situation, but he was a really good athlete. Hooping too. He used to be hooping like this. We used to be out there. But anyways, played with. All right, so this is gonna sound. So I played football with him, but what I think he was better at was track, and I'm going with Pearl, Marcus Thames. Like I'm going like I think he was better at track than he was in football.
Was, bro.
Like,
I was.
Yeah. Like,
so like, yeah.
Yeah, so, but Pearl though, on top of him, yeah,
Pearl crackhead.
Huh? No, for real. Like line speed, there was maybe because he won state, did he? Or he like got close. You won state.
Yeah, we won. I won state my senior year, but
and they took like third or fourth like your junior year, right, or something like that.
So we beat them to go to state.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, we beat them. That's when I hogged down.
Rashad.
It was dude, man. No, I wasn't Rashad. It was the other dude.
Rob.
Not Rob. It was start with a JoJo. So I don't know what bro name was. I hogged him down.
I can't remember his name. I know you're talking about that.
You know what I'm talking about though. Yeah, like I hogged that boy down. But no, me and Pearl talk about that. Like, man, like if we would have ran track since we were kids and we would have ran since our freshman year, I would have never played, bro. I would have never played football in college. I would have just ran straight track.
Dude, wrong. Same. Like
I was naturally better.
No, like so. Like when it came to baseball and wrestling, like we started doing that in high school. Like me and Carlos and those guys got really good at. We started doing that stuff before high school. Like it's a good chance that football probably wouldn't have been our best sport. Like honestly, like
I agree. Especially Carlton with baseball. Oh my God.
85 miles per hour as a sophomore or junior, like, and he didn't have any real like, yeah. He could have easily been a star baseball player, but my fifth is gonna be Pearl. I mean, and this ain't no shots at you, wrong. I don't think we ever played anything together though. No, I think
never played no sports together.
Played. The one time that we could have played basketball together, John Baker told me I couldn't play on the team because I was bad.
That is it.
I was bad. I really was. So,
man, that's good. That's good, man. So I'm gonna wrap it up.
Pro was a dog. He was a dog.
Nah, he was, man. He was. People don't know, man. Now I'll wrap it up, man. I like to give people their flowers, man. Obviously, it wasn't for you guys. I wouldn't have never played football. I have never seen. I always tell people like, bro, I've never seen nobody like your size, that big, that fast, that skilled. Just off raw athleticism. He was a dog, and just coming from where we come from, bro. Like, I know your family, my family. For us to even get to college and do what we did, and now long graduate, and then just like being black pillars in our community. I appreciate that, bro. Even our friendship, bro. We've been on each other since like the second and third grade. That's crazy to think about. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I had no problem in second grade trying to fight everybody. Huh? I tried to fight you too in the second grade.
Bro, you just big and mean for no reason, but it's all good. But no, bro, like just I know your story. I really appreciate like the relentlessness. Like you just keep going no matter what. I know you're gonna continue to do big things. Your future, whatever you got is for you, bro. And I just appreciate you. Everything you're doing now, everything you did. We have countless memories. I remember when I had gotten into a fight in front of my house. I ain't gonna put nobody's name out there. You was the first one laughing and cracking jokes out. I ain't gonna put no names out there. Like we got good memories, bro.
Man, some of my fondest memories are hanging out on 21st and Thomas with you, dog. Like I'm telling you, like And as like you're giving me my flowers, but room, you have shaped and molded like a lot of our lives too. Like we talk about like some of the times we get away from the things that we should be doing and shouldn't be doing, and like you and Jigga, like are the guys we think about stuff we need to get back. I tell you all the time. We talked about it just a couple weeks ago. Need to get back on track, and you and so you have always been like a bright star in our future. I mean, in our lives, dog. You've always been somebody who does the right thing, like whether it's the cool thing or not, whether it's the popular thing or not. Like you've always been somebody who steered us in the right direction. Like don't discount yourself. You know this, but don't discount yourself on that as well, man. Like stuff. You helped me out a lot, whether y'all believe it or like know it or not. Like all these conversations I have with y'all, like it helped me out tremendously. But there are times I kind of forget sometimes that I'm dope in those regards, and you guys kind of help me remember that. So definitely, I always gonna appreciate you guys for that type of stuff for sure. So,
Nah, man, you that guy. You gonna always be that guy. So then I hope you remember that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're gonna wrap this pod up, man. Finally got you on here. Got a real Northside out here, my brother, man. It's gonna be dope, man. Man, look at hey, I ain't never seen Donte this little a day in my life.
Yeah.
Donte, hey, go ahead and flex for one more time. Yeah. All right, man. This the guy.
Give it to him one more time. Just give him the.
All right, bro. You kind of like making me look bad over here, you know?
Hey, baby, I worked hard for
like
this.
you said you 210, bro. I'm like 203. Come on, that's crazy. I gotta lose.
Oh, man.
All right, bro. I'm gonna wrap this up, man. I love you, bro. Thanks for being
I love you too, big dog. Thank you for having me. This is definitely something I needed to do. You enjoy the rest of your night. Tell your family I love them too. You have a good one.
Got you.